We acknowledge that Tri-Cities Community Television operates on the traditional, ancestral, and unceded territory of the Coquitlam First Nation. We thank the Coquitlam who continue to live on these lands and care for them along with the waters and all that is above and below.
Welcome to the Face to Face. I'm your host, Geneviève Kyle-Lefebvre. Face to Face is a bilingual series of video recorded here in Coquitlam. Today I am sitting with Odo Nkum and Kimmie Jansen from the Talitha Koum Society. Hi, ladies.
Hi, how are you?
It's a pleasure to have you with me today, and I'm curious. Can you tell us about the society? What do you guys do?
So Talitha Koum Society is a charitable organization. We do a 12-step program as an addiction recovery place. We're one of the few places that accept women with children under the age of 7. We do have 3 homes right now. We have a first stage, a second stage, and a third stage housing within the Tri-Cities, particularly in Coquitlam.
Okay, so you're helping families when they're in difficulties, they need like something's happening, like elaborate a little bit more.
So it's women who are battling with addiction, women in addiction, and that includes women battling with homelessness. You know, addiction gets connected to that. There's mental health happening. We do have clients that would battle with crime or the criminal justice system. So what Talitha Koum does is that we attempt to break the cycle of addiction and homelessness.
Okay, so do you work with, I guess, a series of professionals to be able to help those women?
So with Talitha Koum, we do a lot.
So let's go in detail. Tell us.
Yes, it's a wraparound service. So we have clinicians around who do counseling. We do have support workers. We have case workers who, some of the women that we work with have lived experience. I think Kimmie will speak more about that. Kimmie is a program director, so she will speak more into that. Yeah, you want to go.
So at Talitha Koum, the women, when they come into the house, can stay with us for a minimum 6 months, and they can be with us for up to 3 years. In our first and second stage house, they can be with us for 2 years, and then our third stage is another year on top of that. When a woman comes in, we have staff that are alumni that were once clients, myself included. I was once a client at Talitha Koum as alumni, and now I have the honor to actually work there. So the lived experience are caseworkers, and they walk with our women through the 12 steps, a written 12 steps. We have other staff that have mental health backgrounds. They have other lived experience, other traumas that they have healed from, life skills. We work with women, we do Indigenous workshops, we go to Bible study, we attend church, and we do all of that in the Coquitlam area. And so a lot of our resources and the people we work with come from Coquitlam.
Are you okay to share a little bit your story?
Sure. So my clean date is October the 7th, 2008. By the grace of God, I have 16 years. When I got clean, I was incarcerated. I had children and a husband, and we lived up in the interior, and I got into addiction. I had been using my whole life. I'm just trying to make cold notes here. Yeah, so I'd been using my whole life, and at one point, the father of my kids, he gave me an ultimatum. He said I could choose him or I could choose drugs, and the drugs had gotten a hold of me, and I chose drugs. I came down to Vancouver, and I lived on the streets for many years, and in order to get my needs met, to get the drugs and alcohol, I did whatever it took. I ended up being incarcerated, and when I was incarcerated, because I had been on the streets for so long and because of the crimes that I did, they wanted a lot of time for me, and there wasn't a recovery house that would take me. So when I was sitting inside in a maximum security prison, one of the other inmates came up to me and said, "Have you called Talitha Koum?" And I said, "No." She goes, well, you need to call Talitha Koum. And so I called Talitha Koum, and it was in that moment that when I spoke to the director, that she said I needed to call her every day. I had never met this woman, and many months down the road, when it was actually time for me to go up in front of the judge to see if I could even get bail, I walked into the courtroom, and the woman that I had been talking to on the phone for all those months was sitting in the first pew. Right? So Talitha Koum takes women who have fallen through the cracks that other recovery houses struggle with, whether it be their behavior or whatever is going on for them. Talitha Koum doesn't do that. And it's been a gift for me, because having somebody who loved me until I could love myself, like that society, you know, I owe my life to them.
That's amazing. I'm very touched right now. Wow. Okay. So, and then what happened? Were able to get bailed? And
so I got bail, yeah, and I got to the house, and I went through the program, and the program is the same program as it was when I entered the house in 2007. So in first stage, you go to meetings every night. We are very structured, so we're up at 6:30 in the morning. Program starts at 8:30. It's done at 3:30. Each woman has a chore and a cook day that she is asked to do. We do a written set of 12 steps. We have Bible study on Thursday. We do Indigenous workshops once a month. We have different programs that come in and work with us. We do identity class. We've done DBT workshops with the women. They do one-on-one counseling. Each woman needs to get a home group, and she needs to get a sponsor. She needs to call 3 supports a day, and of women who have a year or more that are working a program of recovery to build her tribe. There's no electronics when you come into the home, so all phones and laptops, all that stuff is put away until you have actually completed your oral step 5. When that happens, we sit down and we take a look at the woman's goals that she made when she came into the house, and then we transition her into second stage. So this is the part where she gets to take all the tools that she has learned in first stage and start to apply them into her life. And does she want to go to school? Does she want to go to work? You know, what are her needs and what are her desires? And Talitha Koum will work with her with that.
wow. And now what do you do with the organization?
Today I'm the program director.
Okay.
Yeah, so I get to work with Odo, and we put programs together. So we get to go out into the community, into the Tri-Cities, look for different resources, look for volunteers to come in and work with us. You know, any specialties. We have a group of retired business women that come in, and they kind of do life skills with us right now. So they'll come in every second Thursday of the month, and they will do a workshop with us, whether it be food literacy, financial literacy, privacy and confidentiality, and online scams, that type of thing. And then they cook with us and they bake with us. Right? We have people come in and do arts and crafts with us. We have the Indigenous, Chaz and Wendell, they come in once a month and they drum with us, they smudge with us, they teach us history. You know, we want to give the clients a little bit of everything, in the sense of so that they can find out who they are, right? My belief is that if a woman doesn't know her roots, it's really hard to discover who she is, to be able to stand up in herself, right? We have God as our foundation, right? So we're a Christian home, and that's why we go to, you know, we learn about God through Bible study, through church, through the 12 steps. You know, it asks you to find a God of your understanding, and so we just live our lives with God's at the helm, you know, a wing and a prayer, and we just walk together. I think one of the best things about TK is when I came into the house, I had a lot of behaviors. I didn't know how to live life on life's terms. I was either really, really happy when I had dope, or I was really, really angry when I didn't. And so I didn't understand that there was a whole bunch of other feelings between those, that happy and anger, that black and white. And TK loved me through that, right? So they, and we do that now, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Like the women come in and you know, and when they get comfortable, then we get to experience, you know, the trauma and the behaviors. And rather than a 3 strikes you're out, we choose to work with them because we trust God's got them.
Amazing. Odo, what do you do at TK? I hear you guys saying TK, so I'm going to go with that.
Yeah. TK, yeah. So I am the executive director of Talitha Koum Society. I have been with Talitha Koum for the past, I'm going 7 years now. Yes, and prior to coming to TK, I've worked in the field of mental health and addiction for over 10 years now. So for me, working at TK is a vocation. I feel it's a calling, right? Just a little bit about Talitha Koum, just so that everybody understands a bit more. The name Talitha Koum itself stems from the Bible. It's an Aramaic expression that Jesus said in Mark 5:41. Yes. Yeah, which means little girl rise. So at TK, what we do is that we bring that healing into every dead woman who comes in, whether it be the woman or their children that they come with. A part of the program, or let me say the core piece of the program, is women being able to trust and trust in God, right? So when you look at addiction, an opposite of addiction is isolation, right? And women in addiction normally loves to control everything. You know, there is zero trust for parents, zero trust for the community, for God. There's a lot of women who comes into the homes that are angry at God, that are angry at the government, at everything, right? So at Talitha Koum, the women learn to trust again. And as they trust God, the recovery becomes the natural response that falls in. So once they trust God, then you're trusting the community, and then you're trusting the family again. You know, that begins to build that connection that they need to thrive through. So for me, like I said, it's a calling. Just seeing these women blossom to become the women that they were called to be. And a beautiful thing also is the children, right? Not too long ago, we had 3 generations go through Talitha Koum. It was so beautiful. Having a grandmother who went through the house as a client, became a staff. Her daughter went through the house. The daughter had a child in the house. And then that child became a staff, but has never gone through addiction before. So for us, it's breaking that cycle. It does take a lot of patience. And so with TK, we say that we love our clients back to living. It's all about just loving the women. All of this being said, we have professionals. We do understand mental health. Nowadays, addiction and mental health, it's like twins.
Yes.
You know, you cannot have one and leave the other. When you look at the Tri-Cities with the rise of the opioid crisis, right? Talitha Koum provides that support which reduces this opioid crisis. There are women that otherwise would have been dead if not through Talitha Koum Society. So TK does all of these right there. Yeah.
Amazing. So locally here in the Tri-Cities, if we go to Gordon Avenue, we do see there's some women out on the streets. Do you guys reach out to them? How's that work locally?
So we have an outreach worker, we have women, we have staff who works around the clock. We're 24/7 staffed. And so all over the place, we get women phoning in to do an intake sometimes. So we work with social workers, we work with community support workers, we're quite known, if I should put it that way. And so we connect with these women, particularly Gordon Avenue. We have a lot of our clients coming from there. And we do not discriminate, not on race or on faith or anything. As long as the woman is willing, we have an open arms, right? So everywhere within the Tri-Cities, we do accept women, and we work with them. Yes.
I think we're one of the few houses too that we've had women just knock on the door.
Yes.
Right?
So that is possible. You don't have to go
it is
through the system. I hate saying this, but sometimes that's what it is, right? The protocol, whatever you want to call it, right? And people can, like, you call or just knock on the door and show up and ask for help.
And when they do, we always accommodate. Sometimes it's sleeping on a couch if they have to, if there's no beds available, and then we'll figure it out. Right?
I mean, typically we would ask for women to do phone in and do that intake, just so that we get to assess the needs of the woman before we just bring them in. Because most often, especially when women have mental health related diagnosis, it's very important that we understand what that is and what medications are involved, to prepare to bring the women in. But we are one of the few places that we do not need referral. The women can self-refer themselves. They don't need a practitioner, they don't need a doctor or a social worker or anybody. They could just come.
Amazing. So what is the impact on the Tri-Cities of Talitha Koum?
I'm not sure, other than I know that Talitha Koum is well known in the Tri-Cities. I know that when the women go out into the community, people know that they're from Talitha Koum. We do service work. We attend churches and build those communities out there. Any AA meetings or any 12-step meetings, our women are part of the service there, different activities. I think our women represent Talitha Koum really well.
Yeah.
Right? And I don't know the ripple effect, other than sometimes I get calls saying that, we met one of your women there, man, she was amazing, right? Like, she really helped me today, right? So I don't know how great the impact is, but I know the impact is deep.
I could add to that. Some of the service work we do a service called Adopt the Street. So we have our women who have adopted a street, and then we do the cleaning of that place. But that's just a bit of what, some of the benefit. But I think a major piece of the benefit of TK within Tri-Cities is how crime gets reduced, right? So these women, these lovely women, other than coming to TK, would have been criminals in
Or spend their life in prison, and now they're making an impact in our community.
Exactly. And their children. See, when the cycle is broken, you have children with less traumas, right? We have children with future who will become the next Geneviève, right, within Tri-Cities, right? So these are some of the, it's hard to count, but we see it in the lives that the women are living. We have women, especially in our third stage, who live independent life. We have all of our clients in third stage, they work full time. The women who've gone back to universities, to become, we have clients that are now social workers. We have clients that went through the house, are doing great, are counselors, right? We could name some of these people who are making impact within the Tri-Cities that came through Talitha Koum Society. I believe that just reducing that opioid crisis is even huge. It's really huge.
Sadly, we see women and men dying in the street every day.
Every day.
I don't think so. We hear about it enough. I mean, we know, but sometimes, I don't know, would you say like people close their eyes on it? Because if it's every day, we don't hear that in the news every day.
That's a very good, it's a good way to actually put it. It's quite interesting. Had I not worked within this field, I think that I wouldn't have seen much of this. because I feel sometimes it's downplayed, right? We do hear it, but we don't hear it enough, right? And it's very close by. It's really close. There are family friends, there are colleagues who are dying from addiction. And the stigma from it really prevents people from even talking about it. So it's more like I'm grateful to God that lately it's sort of, after COVID, I do see it rising up and more connected to mental health, right, as a disease, right? So now it's easier to speak about it. But prior to then, I feel there was a bit of a shame when you hear about addiction and the judgment. Well, that's an addict. They chose that life, right? So all those adds to it. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think so. It's making it easier when people say you choose that life. Would you say it? You said that earlier. You chose the drug, but sometimes you're in the addiction, right? And personally, I like to make a difference between the addiction and the person. And sometimes the addiction, the person will choose this, but it's just because it's the addiction talking. The person is still a person. It's still a wonderful human being, and it's hard because if someone that is close to us. It's hard to understand that at that moment, but I think making the difference between the two, as the person that has the addiction, but also as the person that is maybe friends or family member or supporting, that it is always a choice, though, at one point, but it's great to be able to dissociate from it. Would you say, like, this is how I've been thinking about it for so long when I look at people at 30 Gordon and we all know someone that struggled with addiction, and now we're talking about substance, but addiction can be so many different things, right? There's not only substance addiction. We have people at the casino that are stuck there, right? And they're losing everything, and they isolate themselves behind the machines, and this is not an easy life.
You know what? It's a disease. If we look at it that way, it's easier to understand it. Addiction is a disease. Just like somebody would have a headache, right? That headache doesn't make the person, but it is a disease that is hard for the women or the people to deal with, right? And the shame that comes with it makes it hard for people to even share that they have this disease. We have to recognize that behind the addiction, there's trauma. Majority of our clients are of First Nation descent. Behind this addiction is a generational trauma. Behind this addiction is a broken home. Almost all clients that you meet somehow have a broken home or probably went through the system as a foster child, right? So behind these addiction, there's an attachment issue. There's a trauma that has gone on which has eaten into the person to the point where now is a full-blown addiction, right? That we see, but it began from somewhere. And sometimes too, it is mental health. Actually, I shouldn't say sometimes. Most often, there's mental health also, right? So separating it, yes, but it's a disease.
Yeah, I like this. Yeah, why I'm saying this is because I think it's important people understand instead of closing your eyes. And I think when you understand and you can be more compassionate also. Okay, if people want to help, wants to get involved, is that possible?
Oh yeah, we need lots of support.
Okay, talk to us about what people can do if they want to volunteer or they want to give their service, or I'm sure they can donate also.
Oh, let's start with a donation.
Okay, yes, it's always needed, right?
We have been blessed within this Tri-City that we get lots of support from Tri-Cities. Our second home, we co-own it with the city of Coquitlam. So we do have that connection. We get support funding through the churches that are local in the Tri-Cities. Lots of funding would be so helpful for us. Currently, we have a third home that we did have a 3-year funding for. That 3-year funding ends this year. And so we need to figure out how we're going to sustain that third home. And this third home, we have women with 4 years in recovery, 3 years. It's been a blessing to them. So it would be great if we could continue that. So if you're hearing me that's a way you could support us. There are many other ways you could support. We need volunteers. We need volunteer drivers. We need volunteers to man our garden, our lawns. We need volunteers to walk with the women. We even need grandmas.
We do.
Because sometimes we have newborns in the house. The moms come in with newborns and they can't go to daycares. So, and then the moms need to be in program. So if we could get older women that would be interested in helping, to take care of the babies for a few hours while mom attends to program, that would be a blessing. We need women that could support with mental health, education, if there are people in psych field that can support with workshops, that's greatly welcome. So all these areas are places that, and then we need volunteers for handymen and women. Yes. That's huge for us.
Okay, for the houses?
For the houses.
So little things happens and
yes.
needs to be fixed.
Electricians, plumbers, all handymen.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow, okay. So we can just call you and inquire. Yes. And where can we find you?
We try not to release our address.
No, without the address. Maybe just phone number and email or website.
On the website, yes. Talitha Koum Society website. And then our phone number is 604-492-3393. You could always connect with us. Simple email address is admin@talithakoumsociety.org. And you could reach any of us.
Ladies, there is a gala coming on September 20th. So where's the gala? How can we buy tickets? And what's happening at this gala?
So the gala would start at 6 p.m. at the St. Clair's of Assisi. Tickets are on sale on our website. So when you go on Talitha Koum Society's website, you will find tickets. You could purchase the tickets online. And we hope to see you on the 20th. It will be beautiful.
Amazing. Is it something you do every year?
We do it every year, yes. The only time I think we skipped was during COVID.
Oh, I know.
And
right?
then after COVID, we took it up again. So, yes.
Yeah.
And it's a fundraiser for the society?
It's a major fundraiser for the society. And so anybody who wants to really support us, this is a time to really buy a ticket. You could buy a table, even for the women. And a cool thing about our gala is that this is the time you get to meet the clients in the houses. So the gala, the clients will participate. They will sit at the table with everybody, and you get to meet them one-on-one, and you could actually have good conversation to get to know the women. So it's fun. It's an impactful time.
Amazing. Well, thank you for doing that.
And then I think in October, usually, we have our Walk for Freedom.
Yes.
So we start at St. Lawrence Church, and we walk down and around Como Lake. And it's a fundraiser as well, and so the women are out for that too. So you can come and join us for that.
Do you have the date?
We don't have the date.
Not yet.
Date confirmed.
Watch the website.
Yes.
Watch the website, yes.
Okay. Before I let you go, if there's any women that are listening to our interview tonight, and either they have the calling or they want to make a difference, what would you say to them?
Thank you. Thank you. Please call us. Right? Please call us, and it's we welcome people. It builds our community.
We need all the support.
Yeah.
So come join us.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for doing what you do. It's very touching. Your story is very touching, and I'm sure there's a lot more than we could talk about, right? And it's amazing to see there's people out there supporting women that are really in need, and there's a home with you guys for everyone, all those women. So thank you so much.
Thank you,
Thank
Geneviève.
you, Geneviève.
Thanks for having us.
I appreciate you having us.
Yes.
You're welcome. From the Tri-Cities Community Television and myself, Geneviève Kyle-Lefebvre, thank you so much for joining us today.